This summer solstice brings the launch of Synchronicity University. So excited about finally presenting you guys with a free, online, fully accessible data bank of astrology classes. You can watch lessons right now at synchronicityuniversity.com and of course my YouTube channel, nadiyashah.com. Hello, fabulous Aquarius. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of August 2015, General Focus. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. This month, I gotta say, just right off the bat, big romantic connotations, big relationship connotations, developments, positive occurrences all around. And I'll talk about that a lot more in the love-focused horoscopes. And it is going to be love that gets a lot of your attention, and it feels like a lot is going really right for you this month, particularly mid-month. However, in other areas of life, when I look at what is taking place now, so much of the focus this month is going to be about you. And it isn't until the very end of the month that the energy starts to change. It's about you in terms of who you know yourself to be. It's about you fully realizing and manifesting things that you put into place a long time ago, back at the beginning of the year. And it's about you either attracting new supporters to help you take whatever creative ideas you have or just work-related ideas that you have to a more positive place to help you advance what it is, what your goals are in terms of your work, in terms of your life and otherwise, or to strengthen and fortify and begin anew within the context of the alliances, the relationships, and the business partnerships that you now hold. A lot of this is thanks to, in the early part of the month. At the very beginning of the month, we have a full moon happening. Now, this full moon is actually happening at the very end of July, so you're coming into this month with the energy of last month's full moon. This is a full moon in your sign. This is bringing to fruition things that you put into place really at the beginning of the year, so in the last 6 months or so. So if you think back, what was happening in January? What was happening in February? What were you coming to realize about yourself? What were you reconsidering? What were you planning? What was it that seemed wasn't going according to plan, but you still were really invested in, you still really wanted to work out? This has been part of the journey for you since the beginning of the year. And now here we are, the full moon in your sign, and it is a time of realization. It's a time of manifestation as well. There's another element that happens with the full moon, and that is fully realizing what you've already known and sort of accepting it and letting go of what no longer serves you. There's an aspect here that has to do with shedding the old, releasing what you no longer need. That's a big part of the full moon in your sign, and that is part of what you're engaged in as you start the month. And I do think that a conversation, a one-on-one interaction is likely to be a strong part of this. As we move into the month, and particularly in the first days of the month still, we've got this interesting conversation playing out between Jupiter and Saturn. So Saturn right now in a part of the sky for you that has to do with legacy and career and what you hope to achieve, what goals you hope to realize. And this to me suggests a really tough one-on-one conversation with somebody, a business partner or an alliance that says, okay, are we actually moving in a direction of achievement or not? Where is it that we need to alter course or maybe renegotiate our expectations of each other so that we're moving ourselves and our alliance in a positive direction? So it's possible that a business alliance of sorts is going to in some way need to be fortified or renegotiated to better serve what it is that you're still hoping to manifest as part of utilizing this last sprint of Saturn at the very top of your sky very well. I'm going to advise you to watch the Saturn special for your sign that had to do with the Saturn special I recorded back in 2012, because it's those themes now that are really going to accelerate and that are really going to start to feel like they're coming together in powerful ways. You'll be asking yourself tough questions to make sure that you are realizing some of the aims that I talk about in that Saturn special. So you might want to have a look at that. As we move towards the middle of the month, the focus becomes about people, other people. And as I said, those business alliances, those one-on-one contacts that you have in a general focused horoscope context, in a business context. So this has to do with the people that you choose to align with and that you choose to partner with so that you can move your life in a positive direction, so that you can realize, especially, greater prosperity is a big part of this as well. People ultimately that you want to feel at ease with, that you want to feel comfortable with. And also there's a sense here of having a conversation that makes a big difference with someone with whom you have that one-on-one connection. This might be somebody brand new, or this might be somebody with whom you have an established alliance. If it is an established alliance, be prepared for some new terms, if you will, some new understandings of what direction it is the two of you are headed in together. And ultimately, and maybe, possibly, also a new understanding, not only of roles, but also of how things are going to be divided. That's going to be a big part of it, including the finances, including the money as well. So if this is somebody that is brand new, not somebody you already have had a contact with, but somebody brand new, I would just advise you to be a little bit mindful. We do have Venus retrograde in this part of the sky. So it does suggest to me the Venus retrograde is being activated big time by this new moon. So it does suggest to me that it might be a little bit of you seeing or hearing what you want instead of the reality of the situation. So you are going to need to have that appreciation and know that you can totally welcome in new people who come in, who want to help you, want to be part of you moving forward. Very likely some agreement is going to be made, but if someone is promising you the sun, moon, and stars, be grateful for that, that someone feels that you are worthy of that, and that's awesome. But at the same time, just know that at the end of the day, there's a business aspect to this alliance that needs to set in as well and will become more evident as time moves forward. But this does look very, it seems to come out of nowhere, seems very surprising, very enlivening, and there's lots of happiness around this as well. Also, as we approach the end of the month, the focus will change and the focus will become more on finances. This is the energy you're going to carry into next month and will continue well into next month as well. Of course, I'll be here to talk about it then. And actually, this month, with Jupiter's change of signs, the Jupiter special should be up in the first days of August. So do watch out for that, because financially, things are going to get a whole lot better for you, I promise. Now, based on what's happening at the end of the month with the particular full moon that's taking place, this has to do with expenses or earned income as well. So there will be some changes, there may be some fluctuations, but also there's a real sense of a smart way forward, a smart way so that you can create wealth for yourself, money that lasts. So it's not so much about, okay, what do I need to do now so that I can make more money? But there's a real sense on your part that you have a desire to build something that's going to last, that's going to create prosperity for you, and not only a sense of material wealth, but also what is it ultimately that helps you on a level of emotion to feel wealthy as well? What adjustments need to be made so you feel like you are moving in a direction that is strong and has a certain fortitude to it that is unbreakable ultimately as well. So we've got these several indicators happening, especially towards the end of the month, that finances in some way are going to pick up big time, wonderfully so. You might have to get a little bit realistic. There might be a need to make a realistic plan. And it does look like as we're approaching the end of the month, you might be a little bit optimistic in spending all kinds of money. The money seems to be there. So whenever I see that there's a lot of energy focused on money, it does tend to indicate that the money is there. But I have a feeling as I look at this, because this full moon is happening so close to Neptune and then goes on to speak with Pluto, it just suggests to me that you might in some way be chasing a dream or trying to create an illusion when what you actually need is a lot more essential. So you are going to have to look at ultimately what is it what changes do you need to feel like you're doing something that allows you a real sense of strength? Are you spending your money in a direction that ultimately is going to strengthen you, is going to fortify you. Now, if you are a little bit something for the astrology students out there, if you're a student of astrology, if you know where your Pluto is, if you look at Pluto in your chart, it is going to be that area of life, that house, if you will, that is going to be getting more of your attention. So what I mean by that is, in your unique birth chart, we have all the placements, the whole sky is a part of you. And if you are a student of astrology, you know where your placements are. So what this means is, if you have Pluto, let's say, in your natal chart in the 4th house, what this tells me is you're going to be spending money on matters of home. If you have Pluto in your 5th house, you're going to be spending matters of children, matters of fertility, matters of dating, and so forth. If you have Pluto in the 6th house, you're going to be spending money on your health. And you're going to be thinking, okay, am I chasing a fantasy? Am I chasing a dream? What do I really need to feel safe, strong, and secure in this area of life? And is it worth the sacrifice? I think actually you're going to find that once you get clear on what's worth it and what isn't, all the resources you need have a way of coming together. That's a little bit for those students of astrology out there. Forgive me if you're not a student of astrology. I'll bring it back now for the masses. But what you need to know, just at its essence, for those with strong astrology placements, for those with rising sign, sun sign, or moon sign in Aquarius, this particular full moon is going to bring a focus to finances, to what you're earning and what you're spending. And ultimately, once you get to the core of what you really need and what really matters, the money that you need has a near magical way of coming together for you now. What I love about this month for you is that there are people just all around you who want to support you, who want to love you, and people who want to see you shine, who want to celebrate you, whether it's on a level of career, whether it's on a level of your life. There are people who are there for you. Reach out to them, or maybe you don't really have to reach out that much. They will reach out to you and allow them to be there. And understand ultimately that that sense of prosperity that you seek is within, and it comes from your most important relationships. Once you have that appreciation, the practical matters of money, the practical matters of prosperity have a way of falling together rather nicely.